Hey guys, let's roll. This video is to try and prompt a debate about just who is allowed to work for our security services and who is not. Many years ago, I was offered the opportunity to work at GCHQ Cheltenham. That's the building that you see behind me, the donut, uh, Government Communications Headquarters. At the time, I held security clearance to level secret, yeah, secret and below that would be secret, confidential, restricted, and unclassified. Above that, of course, would be top secret. I didn't take the job, but a close friend of mine from the Royal Navy did. I might tell you about what happened to him after his friendship to me was revealed in another video. It's quite interesting on how the government can persecute a person. From what I knew, and what he later confirmed, security at GCHQ was extremely tight. Uh, but now, to be honest, I've got real doubts about it. There was a time you had to be British to work there. And vetting mattered, backgrounds mattered, personal vulnerabilities mattered. That's not ideology, that's just how serious intelligence work has always been done, or rather was done, but clearly times have changed. And I believe now that GCHQ is about as leak tight as the colander in the sink that's still waiting to be washed. And first let's take a look at our country's security organisations. It's known as the Trinity. This is the UK intelligence trinity at a glance. MI5 security services. They're responsible for domestic security inside the UK, surveillance, investigations, human sources. These are the guys I've had on my tail and will probably be watching this later. Guys, I can't believe you're still using the same registration plates on your unmarked cars. Okay, all you've done is get newer models, but you kept the same colour. You didn't think I'd forget that, did you? Shape up, boys. Then, guys, you've got MI6. That's the James Bond guys. Secret Intelligence Service, Foreign Intelligence, Overseas Only, Human Spies, Covert Operations. And then you have GCHQ, Government Communications HQ, Signals, Cyber Intelligence, Global UK and Abroad, Intercepting Data, Code Breaking, Cyber Ops. Yeah, these guys work with the 77th Brigade. So this is what they do at GCHQ. Listen, analyze, protect communications, phone calls, emails, satellite traffic, internet data and metadata, cyber attacks on UK infrastructure, encryption and code breaking. Yeah, I was trained in encryption on the old KL7 crypto machines. I think they are declassified now. You can find images of them on the net. There was a James Bond film about them once, wasn't there? So what makes GCHQ different? It doesn't rely on human spies, works through maths, computing, linguistics, supplies intelligence to both MI5 and MI6. Typical GCHQ activity intercepting foreign military communications, tracking terrorist networks online, defending UK systems from cyber warfare. This is why people like me were in big demand to work at places like GCHQ. We've got several of them around the country. Trained in cryptography, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Right, so where are we at now? Well, In more recent years, GCHQ has publicly changed its recruitment approach. Take a look at this image. Well. I had to pause it. Someone at the door. Why? Why? Anyhow, moving on. Read this. White British students not allowed to apply for security service internship. Decision described as blatant discrimination and racist as MI5, MI6 and GCHQ tried to increase diversity amongst their ranks. Britain's intelligence services have launched a summer internship program, but white British students are banned from applying. Now, does that make sense to you? Well, it will in a minute. Now, this isn't in no secret. It's stated openly there, isn't it, on their own material. Like many organisations, they now place this huge, strong emphasis on diversity and inclusion, including sexuality, belief and identity. That statement on its own is just simply a fact. I'm not making any judgments here, guys. I'll keep my judgment private for now, but that is their policy. Now, personally, I see that as a security risk to the country. But let's have a look at what their web pages are saying. Is that? There we go. You've got your diversity and inclusion there. Oh, they're full of themselves, aren't they? At GCHQ, we have truly brilliant people working to solve complex problems. Yeah, but not brilliant enough to prevent security lapses. Oh, they're nice multicolored image, multicultural image. What else are they into at GCHQ? Oops, Pride Month, yeah. Kind of alarming, isn't it? Kind of alarming. Well, here's an important point, guys, that's never really discussed. Okay, guys, sorry about the lack of flow in this. That door has really thrown me. Anyhow, we move on. Now, here's an important point that is never discussed. GCHQ does not publish a religious breakdown of its staff. There's no public data showing how many employees follow any particular faith or none at all. What is published, however, are figures for the wider UK civil service as a whole, and those figures matter, provided we're honest about what they are and what they are not across the civil service. The largest group identifies as Christian, a significant proportion having no religion at all, but a small but notable minority identify as Muslim. I believe from past research that the figure is 6%, but I wouldn't bet the farm on that. These figures apply to the civil service overall, not specifically to GCHQ, and that distinction is crucial. Historically, the concern has always been about vulnerability, not belief, not sexuality, not background. For example, in the past, homosexual men and women were sometimes vulnerable to blackmail, not because there was anything wrong with them, but because society treated them that way, perhaps for a good reason in security services. This is documented counterintelligence reality, not moral judgments now, guys. Anyhow, today's social conditions have changed and so have many of those risks. But there are cases of homosexuals continuing to remain in the closet because they are married or worried about their political futures. By the way, any news on Starmer's friends from Ukraine? They must be up before the beak soon. Anyhow, the principle remains the same. Intelligence work focuses on pressures, leverage and human frailty, whatever form those may take. We all know what a nanny trap is. The best of these can be found in Israel. Anyhow, to summarise, GCHQ used to take security seriously, but does it now? Have a look at that image, guys. Yeah, that is one of their directors. He's a Muslim. Should he really be working at GCHQ? I'll give you a reason why we should ask that question now in a minute. Anyhow, religious data is not published at agency level, only at civil service level. I think it should be published. I'd like to know how many Muslims are working at GCHQ, because I wouldn't consider that place secure any longer. And intelligence history shows the vulnerability has always been the concern. These are the facts. What they mean, if anything, is a discussion for another time. For now, this video is simply to see if the subject is worth debating. Tell me in the comments. Well guys, if you found the video informative, then depress the like button deeper than 2-tier Kia's depression and make me an happy patriot. Now have a look at this. Fort Hood shooting 2009. Major Nidal Malik Hassan, UK Army psychiatrist, opened fire on soldiers and civilians at Fort Hood, Texas, killing 13 people and wounding 30. Hassan was a Muslim by faith and reported discussed religiously influenced motivations. He was charged with murder. Yeah. Widely reported active duty soldier with a Muslim background. These people of this religion will always do what their religion tells them in their heads. Yeah. I don't think Muslims should be employed at GCHQ. Anyhow guys, that's just my opinion. Tell me what you think in the comments. Sorry, this was a bit of a messy one. I'm going to take the door off. I've said that before, haven't I? You've been listening to the Green Arrow.